Hi and welcome to today's video where we will go through a bit of a tiny book haul of books I got recently and also reorganizing my bookshelf behind me because I just filmed my July wrap-up where I read 8 of my physical books from my TBR and I just crave a need to just reorganize everything behind me because some part I love it and some others I don't. So basically that's what we will go through in this video. If you don't know me, I am Audrey. I have no clue what I'm doing here. I started to read too many books last year, mainly fantasy, and then I decided to just share with other people what is going on in my head and while reading those books. I think that's pretty much it. So let's get started with this video. First, the book haul. I went book shopping in July in France. I went to my favorite library and they started to have more and more books in English. I think it's thanks to all the social media content. And I went to also some other book places and find some books in English. Yes, I could easily read in French, but I can read in English, and if the book has been originally written in English, I prefer to read it in original languages. I also, like this, can go see the French edition, which looks way more beautiful than any English book I can find in France, and then convince my mom to read them, where she has a beautiful edition and I have, well, still a good edition, but just slightly more boring ones. Because getting my hand on nice special editions, it's kind of hard. Currently I live in Switzerland though. Anyway, so here are the books I found. The first one that I was hoping to find is Katabasis. How do you pronounce that? By R.F. Kuang. I have one friend who read it and said she thinks I would love it. And I read The Poppy War. Well, technically I still have half of the last book to read. They are just pissing me off so much. All of them, I have the hardest time to finish the story even though I don't want to know what happens. So anyway, I thought I will try one of her other books and a standalone, and since my friend told me that she really liked it and I would too, I picked up this one. And actually I could have had the hardcover edition, but I just like this cover much more, so I picked this one up. I'm not sure what this is about. It's something a lot related to languages, right? Is this one? Because the other book, Babel, is also related to languages, or both? I don't know. She wants to become the brightest mind in the field of magic, but a PhD advisor can make her dream come true, but he is dead and in hell. So he and Peter are rival and go after him. Oh yeah, right, that's the one where they go to hell and stuff. So anyway, this one will be a lot of fun. If you read it, please let me know. Then I found the poet Empress. I heard so many great things about it, and actually I wanted that edition. So I keep postponing, and this time I found it. Do I know what this is about? I guess I know. I heard so many things about it, and yet I don't remember what the book is about. I know it's a standalone, and it just looks so beautiful. As the emperor lays dying, the one great Azalea dynasty plunged toward civil war while its prince plot for power. A more hidden war to become the next empress occupies the imperial court. Wei Yin, peasant girl turned concubine to the cruel prince tyrant, has already endured unimaginable suffering ripped from her family. She has no title, no allies, no escape, but she does have a secret. Okay, well that seems like a lot of fun, and I don't know when. I have so many books I want to read in August, and also I'm working on my reread on Spark of the Everflame series, so I don't know when I will get into it. But I definitely want to get into it, and the cover is just so beautiful, no? What do you think? Then the third book I found, actually I'm not sure why I picked it up. I saw it everywhere, also on social media. Yes, normally when I go buy book in libraries, I'm trying to pick up the one I haven't heard in social media, but it's not like I have many options, and as I say, thanks to social media they have more books in English, but most of them are books that you see all over social media, at least in France. I found another library in Switzerland where I have a bit more of a mix. But anyway, this book, I'm not sure why I picked it up. Maybe it was a bit of an impulse, because I have no clue if I will like it. I know the reviews are very mixed and I didn't read her other series, and that book is Starside by Aster. I don't know know why in my head I feel like a lot of the reviews were saying it's for people who loves Fourth Wing and all of those books, but I don't know. So I'm going through the blurb a bit. Hundreds of years ago, a brutal war split a land in two. Starside is the realm of magic and immortals, the descendants of the gods, living in a power-rich paradise. Stormside is where mortals fight to scrap of that magic. Wait, Starside, okay, Starside is magic, Stormside is the mortals. And every 50 years, the gates between them open. Okay, so I have no clue what will I think about it. I have no clue if I will actually like it. But I don't know, I just wanted to give it a try. Normally when I see a book everywhere, I tend to not want to grab it, except if I feel like it will really talk to me, like One Dark Window and some others. Those I usually feel like, no, and this one I do admit I wanted to try it, but did I wanted to read it to the point to buy it? I don't know. So I hope I will like it. Did you like it? Do you have any reviews to share? And then this is not a book I bought myself. I have my friend who, well, she was reading more than me, and I started to read a lot and get into way too deep into fantasy, and then she started to get back into fantasy as much, and while I stay away from all the highly popular books, she tends to run toward them, and I do know that she likes more action than me, and me I like slower, more settled ones, even though we do have the same, like we do like each other reads, is just the one I would prefer are the one that she enjoy a tiny bit less, and the one that she prefers are the one I enjoy a tiny bit less. And by enjoy a tiny bit less, I mean that we both like the books, just one likes it more than the other. So this winter she read an extremely famous series that I was saying, I don't want to read it. I don't think this one is for me. I'm happy everyone is enjoying it, but I truly don't think I will click with that series. And she loved it so much. And it was my birthday in May, so she said, I will offer you, well, actually it was the case of two series that she famously that she read up. She said, I will offer you one of those two books because it's your birthday, I have to gift you a book. I gift her myself The Road of Bones. Well, she finally gave me 2 months later my gift. So I knew I had two options. It would be either Throne of Glass or Fourth Wing. And she went with Fourth Wing. So now I am ending up with Fourth Wing on my TBR, and well, I have just to read it. I mean, now I have no choice. I was telling her, yeah, I will see, I will give it a try, and she just tricked me. So I guess that's just what friends do. I do know that there is some guy called Liam who dies and everybody's sad about it, but that's pretty much all I know, and that the main character is Violet, who has a very specific hairstyle, and I know that everybody loves Fourth Wing. You have the die-hard fan who love also all the other books that came after, and you have the ones that love the first one and are not so much fan of the others. I did heard that the one who binged all three or did the reread each time liked all the 3 books that are currently out better than the one who read each time they came out, or like with more space in between and did not do the reread. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. She kindly got me the hardback because we were asking each other which one do you prefer, so I got her the paperback, which she likes more, of The Road of Bones, and she got me Fourth Wing hardcover. I do have to say that the gold is a nice pop of color on my shelf. So here are my new books that I got in July. Of course, I'm not going through all the books on my Kindle because then it will never end. No, I planned all my videos for the next few weeks, so I'm not planning on doing much of a TBR recap. I think I will do one at the end of the year to see where I'm at. So anyway, I have all those books that I just got, and then I have all those books that I cannot even see myself that I read in July. And let me tell you my dilemma. See, I have those 2 bookshelves. As you can see, it's a bit empty. I do admit that I still have more boxes with books that I need to undo. I still have boxes of books that have been traveling with me and I haven't opened in many years, and I do hope my Hunger Games original trilogy are there, because if they're not, then I just lost them. And I do have books that are still at my parents that I would like to take back at some point. But right now I'm trying to keep those two shelves for mainly all the books I got since I started reading a lot 1 year ago. I think I will just change my plan to tell you more about how I want to work. But you will have to see a bit of my chair. But basically, if you saw my bookshelf tour that I made recently, wait, the angle is still not right. Here, they are my TBR shelf. Here are the shelf of series that are currently ongoing and not finished, so I remember that, hey, I used to read those books, maybe I should check out if the next one is coming yet. The problem I have is that I'm starting more and more unfinished series, and even though I know that few of them will be finished during the next few months, I have more and more unfinished series and less finished series. So this shelf is becoming not enough. While my TBR shelf, I would like them to be just one shelf. The other thing is that I know that I love checking out the background of bookish content people to see what kind of books they have and spot if there is any covers that is calling to me and that I never heard of before, or that I'm just intrigued or anything. So one thing I would like to do is being able to expose more, like see, but front covers, more of books that actually I really loved and I think that deserve more hype, or people to get more, to have more people seeing them. It's like, you know, just a subtle, nice way to help authors, sorry, I put H everywhere. I'm French, I'm not good with the H. I'm French Swiss. My main language is French. My native language is French. That's what I mean. Anyway, I think it's a nice way, you know, to help promoting the authors that you love and helping other readers to also discover books that not everybody is talking about, because I feel like all the extremely famously books that you see all over, I'm sure most of them are nice. A lot of the one I read are nice and they deserve also to have a nice exposure, but I would like to have a bit of space for, you know, the ones that are really nice and really love and deserve just more space. So that's my goal. Here I basically have a bunch of old classic books, and then I have a shelf down here that you don't see well, where it's basically books I have in French. Some I've read, some I haven't read, so that's it. And then if I put a bit here you have all the books that I will probably at some point unhaul, and the one that I'm not sure I will unhaul. By the way, on this one you have Smoke and Scars, but it's only because I got the gorgeous special hardcover edition, so this one will actually go to my friend who gifted me for Swing. So here are books that I will either give back to my mom because we are sharing some books in French, or that I will unhaul, or that I'm undecided if I want to unhaul them. Here we have some of my favorite books, and here we have some other books I really like, and here we have all the book nook I have. I built one here, actually. I could turn it on. Here, I have a book nook and I loved building a book nook. Here you can see I got some few more. If you're interested to see them better, let me know. I was expecting to be very frustrated building book nook, but actually I loved it and I'm just waiting for the cold weather to do that. So yes, then you have my Harry Potter series and some treats for my dog. Here you have a new book nook that actually my husband kindly gifted me. It was supposed to be for next December, but he got them early. So we have the castle and the train station. So that's another pile. Then below it's more like my work stuff, and then at the bottom is paperworks and stuff. So I will not touch the bottom, I will not touch this one, most likely not touch the book nook, because now I figured that actually here I can put my current read, the books I've read this month, which are easier to pick back up. That's pretty much it. So now that we went through all that, I will try to reorganize it in the way I was saying. To recap, some classic, mostly I never read, unfinished series, TBR, French book, desk stuff, Harry Potter books, book not to be constructed, and the space for my current read of the month. Love books, books I want to unhold. You can see that the fact I got Kindle 1 year ago really slowed actually down my books, because I read 53 books last year and now I'm at 57, and somehow it feels like I don't reach those numbers here. So anyway, let's start moving up all that. We will start by moving around the Divergent trilogy and the Maze Runner trilogy from my TBR pile. Not that I don't want to read them at some point, but let's be honest, I own them for over a decade. Never read them. I did try to start this one and I was not in the mood. I wanted to read something else. It was during my moving time and I was really tired and low tolerance for any book. I don't want to get rid of them, but they are not a priority on my TBR. So I want to keep them, but I don't want them to be jumping at me and make me feel guilty to read them. So I think I will just move them around. Then we have the Six of Crows duology, which is on my TBR. I need convincing to read them. I kind of feel bad to unhold them without trying them out first, because I do own them, but I did read Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is upstairs. Like you can see, it's on my shelf of books I would like to unhold. I liked it. It was enjoyable, I think, but I read it 1 year ago when I started to read a lot of fantasy. I mean, before 1 year ago, I read few fantasy, like especially this French series, which is La Passe Miroir in French. I don't know what's the English name, but I didn't read as many as now. And I feel like if I had read Shadow and Bones now, I would have liked it less, and I'm not sure I would have finished it already back then. Let's be honest, the only reason I finished this one was because of Nikolai. And actually the reason I got those two was because there is afterwards another duology where Nikolai is the main character. But it's been 1 year. I didn't at all feel like picking it up, and I'm very close to unholding it. But as again, it feels stupid to unhold books that I haven't tried, so I should at least give it a try, right? But anyway, I don't want them to stare at me, so they will go up there too. Here, see? I solved half of my space from the TBR. Then we have the lovely, I forgot the name in English, but that little animal that was drawn by a friend of a friend. And here I feel like for my TBR, I don't need to showcase books because, well, it's my TBR and I don't know, maybe I will not like them. I mean, this one is very unlikely, and this one, I just love the cover so much. Look at this cover, it's just beautiful. But I feel like they don't need to be like this. So let's move around my That's my TBR jar. I haven't used it for a while. I use it when I don't know which book I'm in the mood for, and my mind is kind of open into the options. Yes, I did forget I had those. Why am I missing one? Oh no, it's already there. Okay, so I managed to have most of my TBR here and then a tiny bit of here. So you just need to read 7 books and it can all be on one shelf. I tried to organize kind of in my way of thinking and stack what I could. So here like this I have more space, and I put here to separate with ongoing series. Those are not fantasy, and I don't know where to put them. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy about it. It's not great, it's not amazing. I still have another small shelf on it. I will probably move my book to unhold there to have a bit more space. Those two, I'm not happy where they are. But okay, I will need to move around a bit, like top and bottom, but at least for this part here, this part I'm happy. And also I know I pre-ordered quite a few books for the rest of the year. Well, I should normally get more physical books, so for now that will do. I will take the camera and show you a bit. So basically here we have my book in mostly French. Actually, I did get the old version of Pretty Little Liars before I couldn't find them anymore. Then we have my TBR with my bookmark. I need to find a thing to put them all together, but so far I don't find what I like. Then we have the rest of my TBR, the TBR drawer, and the unfinished series with a bit of decoration. Then we have other unfinished series. Then we have some old books, French books, and the two that I don't know where to put. My TBR I'm scared to read. Books I would like to unhaul or give to somebody else. Some of my favorite read with the burning god that I need to finish one day. And a bit more decoration. All the books I liked. With the little house, by the way, if you're interested. Here, you can see me in the reflection, but that's how it look. Here I went, because see, I have Kristen Ciccarelli Dark Forgetting, I have the Crimson Moth, and I have the same problem than Fate Forged in Fire. So we have just Fate Forged in Fire, which is kind of burgering the Kristen Ciccarelli. It's not perfect, but that will do for now. And then we have all the other book nook I need to do, and then book stuff, work stuff. That's it. That's my current shelf, and here in that space, oh yeah, here in that space for now I have bags, and so often I have my tripod, and I just don't know how to use this little space here, which is kind of annoying. So here we are. So that's all for today's video. Actually, I didn't have much more to share with you. I just really wanted to share the few new books I got to my TBR, and I really wanted to reorganize this, which will be in need of more reorganization as the time passes. But now it's so hot, I wanted to film a bit more content, but I don't know if I will be able to. So anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you saw some books that you are intrigued by, and don't hesitate to share your tips about how you organize your own bookshelf. And if you have any ideas for that tiny annoying corners there, I think that's all. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon in another video, I hope. Don't hesitate to subscribe if you liked it.